Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Gary here. Hope everyone's having a good week. It's 25 degrees in Cincinnati today, and we got snow yesterday. Actually, yesterday. We had almost 4 inches of snowfall. Anyway, let's see, get some more light in here. That's better. I'm trying a new position today because I'm doing some work in my kitchen. Today's episode is going to be a little bit about cars, used cars, new cars. I don't know who out there this is going to benefit for, but people that are. I'm just trying to adjust my lighting here. Please be patient with me. If you've seen the car prices lately, you're going to be like, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" Right? I mean, I was on a car lot just because I've always been a truck fan. I drive a sedan, but I drive a coupe, but I wouldn't mind having a truck someday because I think trucks are just sexy as hell. And I have a Ford dealership just down the road from me, and there's just tons and tons of Ford trucks, mostly F-150s. If you haven't looked at those prices in a while, you should just check it out. If you can't see them in live and living color, go online, go on CarMax or Auto Trader. They're almost $100,000 a piece. Who are they fucking fooling? Well, the average American doesn't have that kind of money to buy a car. I was watching something. Actually, I read something in Car and Driver magazine last fall, and they said that the car sales were pointed in the past 3 years. The car sales were pointed towards people with money. Now, why would they do that? Now, unless you want to go out and buy yourself a shitbox, like for instance the Chevy Trax. I'm not saying the Chevy Trax is a shitbox. I test drove one about 3 years ago, and it was a nice little car. It's an SUV, but it's a tiny SUV. And for a guy who's 6'2" like myself, I had plenty of legroom in this little Chevy Trax. The only drawback to the Chevy Trax is it had a 3-cylinder engine in it. And one had a 4-cylinder engine, but it was like 2.1 liter or 1.4 liter, no balls behind it. So if you're trying to merge on a highway, forget about it. It's just kind of like driving side streets and stuff. I wouldn't suggest driving one on the highway. I'm getting off topic. What I wanted to go on topic about was the cost of vehicles today. And it's ridiculous. So, I mean, in my life, I've only had 2 new cars. I had a 2003 Chevy Silverado, my very first truck. I loved it. There wasn't an extended cab. It was just like a regular standard cab, standard bed. I had it 3 months and I started having problems with it. So I wrote it off. I bought a fucking lemon. And I would never buy another Chevy product again, but yet I drive a Cadillac. And some people say, well, Gary, a Cadillac is technically a Chevy. No, it's not. It's not. Is it a Chevy product? Yeah, it's in the Chevy family, but it's not considered a Chevy. You know, that'd be like calling a Lexus a Toyota. It's made by a Toyota, but it's a Lexus. It's a step up. It's a luxury. It's a luxury car. I mean, I think my car was built in Dearborn, Michigan, and if I'm not mistaken, I did some research on that. And right next to the Dearborn, Michigan Chevy plant, across the street is a Cadillac plant. So no, they're not the fucking same. I wish it was the same. That way, when I take it in for repairs, I would get Chevy parts. But oh no, they got to give me Cadillac parts. And what do Cadillac parts cost? They bend me over and they don't even give me a reach around. They don't even spit on it first, you know? It's ridiculous. Every time my car goes in the shop, I'm like, oh my God, what's it going to cost me this time? But it's a nice car and I like it. So I'm going to keep it. So, and then my second car, okay, I had the Chevy Silverado truck, which was a piece of shit. And then my second car I bought was a 2005 Honda Civic. And it was a really nice car. I mean, it was tiny. It was a 5-speed manual transmission, which I like shifters. And I had that car for, I'm going to say, I don't know, 10 years or so. And I had enough of it. So that's when I bought my Cadillac. I bought it used. So I suggest going forward, I'm not going to buy a new car ever again. Not especially with the car prices as they are today. So I got a trick, and I'm going to share this on my program today with everyone out there who might be considering buying a used car. You don't have to know shit. I mean, I got friends that say, Gary, you should research the kind of car you want. You got to know the specs on it. You got to know all the years that were good years on it. You got to know the years that were bad years on it. You got to know how many miles you got on it. You got to check the Carfax and all that crap, which is true. You should come armed. But if you don't want to go armed or you want to go in cold, that's what you do. And I've done this because I've had more used cars in my life than new cars. And actually, I've only had one lemon in my life. In a car, if you believe it or not, and it was a new car. That Chevy Silverado was a lemon. Not saying all Chevy Silverados are lemon, but the one I had, brand new, was a fucking lemon. Sold it after a year of owning it. Anyway, when you go on a car lot, you bring a pen light with you. And if you don't know what a pen light is, it looks like a regular Bic pen or an ink pen, and on the very top of it is a flashlight. And in the bottom where the clicker is if you were to click it to make the ball pen come out, that is the on-off switch for the light. You bring a pen light on any used cars lot. And what I'm saying is just listen to me. So you go in there. Now, before we go into that, you got to remember this one thing. Used car salesmen are not just salesmen, but bullshitters. Well, I'm a bullshitter. And you can't bullshit a bullshitter. I've never been beaten at my bullshit game by anybody. Well, actually, a couple people have beaten me on my own bullshit game, but very few. So you go on a lot with a pen light now. I came up with this idea all by myself. I've been doing it for years when I buy used cars. Or if I go somewhere with a friend who needs to buy a used car. I go with my pen light. And I'll go on there and I'll say, I'll walk on a lot cold. And I'll be looking around at cars and act like you know what you're doing. That's the first key. Act like you know what you're doing. And have the pen light in your hand as you're walking around the car. Look around, look at the tires. Look close to the tires. Read the side of the tire walls where the size and all that on there. But you don't have to really know. Just pretend you know. Just pretend you know. So you're looking at the sidewalls. You're checking the tread with your fingers. You're walking around looking at the lights. And then you got a salesman come out. Hey, can I help you find something? Can I help you find something? What can I do? The car runs like a scalded dog. This is a great car. Oh, yeah. This car runs great. You will take it out for a spin, or I'll start it up for you. Want to start it up? I'll start it up for you. I mean, they're going to run all kind of line of bullshit on you, right? Great car. Never been in an accident. Oh, a little old lady sold it to me a little while ago. Yes, sir. It's been hardly ever driven. When it was just driven around town, back and forth to the grocery store, back and forth to church. Oh, yeah, she was a church-going woman. Yeah, it's a really good car. That's a cream puff. It's a real cream puff. You get those lines from these used car salesmen, and that's their job, right? First thing I say is, can you please raise the hood where the engine is? And they go, oh, that's odd. So they pop the hood for you. They open it up, and you take the pen light out. You turn it on, and you start looking at different parts of the engine. Real carefully. You put glasses on. Even if you don't wear glasses, put some readers on. Here's reader glasses. Look around. Inspect the car really good with the pen light. Go around the whole part of the hood. Go underneath. Go down as far as you can and look real closely at everything with your pen light. While the loser salesman is behind you figuring out what the hell is he doing. And then you look at him and say, how many miles you say I have in this car? Well, I got to check the odometer. So, well, you don't know? Okay. That's all right. We can figure that out later. Wait, you got a Carfax on this? Well, I have to go and pull it up off the computer. I don't have it on my person. No. So they're going to delay the Carfax, but everyone's entitled to have a Carfax anymore in this day and age. So I close the hood on it, and he goes, may I ask you a question? Because they always ask me, what were you looking for with that light? That's when you lay out the ultimate bullshit line. Say, well, I work for Consumer Reports, and I'm in the market to buy a car, but I want to make sure I'm getting a good car, and I look at everything. The minute you drop the line Consumer Reports, it's like alert, 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 in their head. Alert, 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 whoop, 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 does not compute, whoop, does not compute. They fucking mind explodes because they're thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing on my lot? What? Consumer Reports? You're here for Consumer Reports? You flip them the fuck out. So let's say you're looking at this one car. You got this one car, you just raised the hood on. And he's trying to sell you this cream puff. Once you say Consumer Reports, because I've done this and it works every time, they immediately divert you from that car and they take you to another car in the lot that runs really, really good. Has got a clean Carfax. It may not be the most desirable looking car. It might be priced the same, but it might be, let's say I went on the lot and I was looking at this sporty looking two-door car. I'm not going to name the brand. I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm just because I looked at so many used cars. And the only one he said, what was the hood for? Because I work for Consumer Reports. Apparently, he got me, and they always get you away from that original car. Every time. And they take you to a nice car that's dependable. Why? Because you're going to report them on Consumer Reports. You will. And they know it. Well, I can't have my car lot go to the shitter. If they're going to say anything about my car lot, God damn it, I better give them a really good, reliable car. And guess what? I get good, reliable used cars on lots by saying I work for Consumer Reports. They aren't going to ask for your ID. And of course, you're not going to say that you have an ID. And of course, even if I did work for Consumer Reports, which I didn't, but I dropped the name, they're not going to ask for a badge because I imagine Consumer Reports doesn't give you a badge. Just like when I worked for that grocery store, they didn't give me a badge to carry around there. Look, I work for this company. Look, here it is. Here's my little card. No, they're going to take your word for it. And if you make it believable, they're going to buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. So that's one line you could use. You could say Consumer Reports right off the rip. If you don't have a lot of time to burn and you're kind of in a hurry, right off the rip, you say, I work for Consumer Reports. But if you really want to toy with somebody, if you're in the mood to toy with someone and it's a nice day outside, you walk on the lot. This is another angle I've used. Walk on a lot, say, yeah, my daughter's going off to college in the fall. And this is the great, I've used this one too. I walk on there and say, my daughter's going off to college in the fall. She's going up to Columbus to go to school at Ohio State. And I'm down here in Cincinnati. Obviously, we're in Cincinnati. And I want a nice, reliable car for her because she's going to be coming back and forth to see family and such like that. And it's going to be her very first car on her own. And I wanted to make sure it's reliable for my daughter. She's my only daughter. I'm a single parent. I raised her by myself. Her mother left me when after her baby was born. She left me with the baby after 2 years old. She couldn't handle the crying and the screaming anymore. It was horrible. I don't want to go into that. You're a salesman. I know you're just trying to sell a car, but I'm telling you, it was a bad childhood for her. And it was tough for me because I had to work a full-time job and take care of a daughter. So I wanted what's best for my daughter. I wanted to raise her and give her the sob story, you know. Oh, I was a single parent and I worked a full-time job and I had to get a sitter and blah, 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 and really give them the fucking... And if you happen to get a salesman that's got a real big heart, he's going to say, oh, God damn, man. Oh, I got to give her a nice car. I got to give her a reliable car. Or you might get the douchebag that says, I don't give a fuck about you and your fucking daughter and your tale of woe. I'm going to give you this here cream puff that might get maybe 100 miles before the engine blows on it. So you give them that sob story about being a single parent, raised this daughter by yourself, had to work a full-time job and a part-time job, and the whole shit, you know, kit and caboodle. And then if you really don't think you got them sold, that's when you say, oh yeah, and you know, and somewhere along the conversation, because these used car salesmen, they run a line of shit. So what do you do? Well, I work for Consumer Reports. You know, everywhere I go, I kind of grade stuff as I see it. You know. And that goes for just used cars. It could go for a refrigerator. You go into a Home Depot or a Lowe's and you're looking for a refrigerator or a stove or whatever, any kind of an appliance, and someone will walk up to you today and they try to sell you the appliance and they're saying, they're giving you all the specs on it and how it works, and say, yeah, I work part-time for Consumer Reports, so I'm killing two birds with one stone today. I need a new washer and I need a new dryer. But I also can report it to Consumer Reports what kind of a product I'm getting. And God, if I'm not, as God is my witness, they're going to take you to a different washer and a different dryer every time. Why? Because they aren't stupid. So you'll always get better service if you drop that line. Be a name dropper. And I'm not saying I know somebody kind of name dropper. I'm talking about I work for somebody kind of name dropper. Because I hate it when people say, oh, I know somebody in the big business and blah, 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 blah. I hate it when people drop names. Well, I met Mark Wahlberg one time, or I met Tom Cruise one time. Yeah, I got a picture with Tom Cruise. Who gives a flying fuck? I've met people like that. Anyway, so I saw, but I know I'm jumping around this program. That's what I do. I do that. But say that. Washer and dryer, I work part-time for Consumer Reports. Going to buy a used car for my daughter, I raise her as a single parent. And don't drop the Consumer Reports unless it's a last-ditch effort. Or you could just go right to the punch. I work for Consumer Reports. That's why I was looking under the hood with this pen light. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to go in there and they're going to point you to a nice car in the lot, and then they're going to get that Carfax for you. They're going to wait for you to ask because they know that Carfax is clean. And let's just say for conversation, that used car in the lot you take this person to. Let's say the boss is inside and he's watching the whole show. He's watching this guy trying to sell me a car. And the boss comes out and he says, "Hey, Herman, can I talk to you for a second?" And the guy looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, my boss wants to go see me." His name's Herman. Goes in there and his boss says, "Hey, didn't I tell you I wanted that Honda for my son? He's graduating high school this year. That's why the Honda's back near the building." And he goes, "No, hey, boss, that guy works for Consumer Reports." "Oh, he does? Fuck. My son will have to buy something else." "No, sell him that Honda. Sell him that Honda." Oh, yeah. You milk him every time and it works. Unless you get a total zero, a toothless hillbilly that's there. "Well, we'll go see if some one of these cars got no teeth in his head." Yeah, I'm driving from the holler. Yeah, I'm from Hazard, Kentucky. And I only got I got out of school fourth grade, and I worked in the coal mines my whole life. Now I'm just like I'm 43 years old, and I ain't working the coal mines no more, so I'm selling cars. I don't know shit about them, but I talk a good game. You could be one of those types of people where they won't even know what the fuck you're talking about when you say Consumer Reports, much less can they say Consumer Reports. So... I saw a program on YouTube the other day. I was watching, so I stream a lot of stuff on TV. I'll go out and I exercise, do my things around the house, and then I'll sit down for a while and watch TV. And I like looking at stuff on YouTube. Cars, mostly cars, if I'm interested in looking at cars. And there was a caption on this lot. It was a lot of, I'm not going to say the brand. Well, I'll say they were Kias. And they were like, and then they showed Kia's one program, then they showed Toyota's another program, and then they got the Ford, and then they got the Chevy trucks. And the caption under the trucks was, "Let it rot on the lot." I thought that was so funny. Rot on the lot, because it's exactly what that truck is going to do. If you want $90,000 for a brand new truck, it's going to do just that. It's going to rot on the lot. And the program was going on to say it, talking about how these 2025s are going to sit, and while the 2025s are sitting there and have been sitting there since last year, rotting on the lot, the 2026s are coming in. Can you imagine having that job with the economy the way it is? I love Donald Trump, don't get me wrong, but it's going to take him a while to get the economy back the way it needs to be, right? So it's been fucked up for a while, so the prices are going through the ceiling, and the demand's not there because people don't make the money that they were hoping they would come at them with. I don't know. Long story short, that's what it comes down to. That's what it boils down to. So anyway, I know it's been a minute since I've recorded one of these things. I've just been super busy with family stuff and holidays and all that shit. But anyway, I'm going to jump up off of here because I got to get going for my day. But I hope you're all hope you enjoy the rest of your week. It's a Wednesday, December 3rd. Yeah, and it's cold as shit outside. Makes my asshole pucker. Oh shit, I hate the cold. I fucking hate it. I worked in the cold my whole life. Now I'm in the cold. Yeah, I want to go to Florida. Better somewhere warm. Anyway, that's for another subject. You guys have a fantastic week, what's left of it. And I'll catch up to you real soon. Peace out.